I'm preparing to teach a class that I teach every year or so called Advertising, Consumption, and Culture. We look at advertising and marketing through a critical lens. One of the concepts we deal with is McDonaldization. McDonaldization, quite simply, is if you think in terms of how things used to be when things were serviced for you versus what you take on as a consumer of a particular product. So if we think about it in terms of McDonald's itself, it used to be that you went to a restaurant, you sat at a table, a waiter or waitress came, they took your order, they went back to the kitchen, they waited for the food, they brought it to you, you sat at the table, you paid for it, and they cleaned up after you. Now put that into the McDonald's context. What happens then? You now put the order into a computer. You go and pick up your order. You carry the food to your table. You eat the food. You clean the table, right? You put everything away and you throw it away. So that is a case where all of the labor then has been put on the consumer, the person, as opposed to what happens on the side of the company, which of course saves them money. And McDonaldization has expanded because it is supposedly going to make things more predictable, more efficient, and allows the company to have more control. Supposedly, it's going to make things more affordable, but we haven't seen that happen. So when I do this, I try to think of where I have seen McDonaldization in my own life. And one of the places where I see it, where it's just utterly inefficient, is to have you check your own bags at the airport. I go in, I get that label. I have no idea. I screw it up every time. And every time I have to ask somebody to pull it apart for me and get the right thing to put in my bag, all of that. McDonaldization has tremendous downsides. Not only does it not make things more affordable, one of the things it does is it reduces the amount of human interaction. Every time you do something with a machine, you're not doing it interacting with a person. It also leads to a tremendous amount of homogenization. Everything begins to look the same. So when I started thinking about this, I started thinking about AI. And is AI the ultimate end goal in McDonaldization?